Okay, so hello and welcome everyone to today's session. Today we are talking about solutions challenge. Okay, Google's solutions challenge. This is something that Google has been doing for a lot of years, and again, this is the 2022 edition. So, without any further ado, let's start. So, before we begin, I'm going to explain you some ground rules as you can see on your screen. So, try to be present in this whole presentation that we have made for you because this is where you get to know every single detail about Google's solution challenge. Okay, so if you know about solution challenge, if you want to participate in it, this is the place where you get all the information about it and you can easily understand what you have to do in the whole solution challenge, what all challenges do we have, what all problem statements do we have, and how exactly you have to participate, and what resources you can go up to for to prepare or to basically learn. All those things will be shared today. Okay, so in the chat box, first question is going to be, do you know about the solutions challenge? Okay, so while I'm explaining all the other ground rules, just let me know in the chat box if you know about the solutions challenge already. Just use yeses or nos. Okay, so be present, be curious, share aloud. So if you have something to share, you can type in the chat box. Engage. So use the chat box. That's for you, and also maintain a proper meeting environment. I don't have to tell all of these things to you guys, but again, general policy. So I have to do this. Okay. So a lot of people are saying no. Okay, that's okay. So a lot of you are really new to solution challenge. It's So it's totally fine. We are going to explain everything related to solutions challenge. So today with me, I also have my co-presenter, which is Neha Fatima. She'll also be leading the charge in answering all your questions. So welcome, Neha.
Hello everyone. So we'll be talking about a lot about the solutions challenge today. So all of your doubts will get cleared.
Yeah,
Though for those who have no idea about what it is, we'll be talking about it now.
exactly. So let's start with today's session. Okay, and the first question is again going to be, what exactly is solutions challenge? So a lot of people have answered in the chat box that they don't have any idea about solutions challenge. So Neha, can you tell us something about solutions challenge?
Okay, so this Google Solution Challenge is an annual challenge. It happens globally across the entire world every single year. All right, so Google is hosting it, Google conducts it. So students from all around the world are focused on developing projects and building projects and ideating and providing a solution to, you know, all already existing real world problems. So I think most of you would be aware of SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, right? The UN models SDGs every single year, right? So based on these SDGs, already existing problems, students come together and work on it, provide solutions to it using Google technology. So this is all your Google Solution Challenge is all about. So students are coming together, working on projects, learning, using all the code labs. So we'll be talking about various Google code labs also that Google provides that will help you learn and also build projects. And a lot of students get shortlisted till the end and win a lot of prizes in this entire program. So that is what your Google Solution Challenge is about.
That's great. So basically, Google organizes this challenge for United Nations, right? So United Nations has set up some kind of sustainable development goals. So what are these
Yeah.
goals that we are talking about?
Okay, so these are also called global goals. So they were adopted in like 2015
Mm-hmm.
as a universal call to take action and do something about the environment getting destroyed and like acknowledging the climate crisis and all of that. So
Okay.
by 2030, we need to lead a better, healthier life all in all for the general humanity. UN modeled all these goals, so Sustainable Development Goals. So in 2015, we arranged these, we made all these rules, the UN made all these rules, and by 2030, we have a goal, we have a target set.
Okay.
So to reach that point, we need everyone getting to it, right? We need all the best minds getting to it and working on it. So that is what we are doing about it.
Okay. So basically,
So
these
they
goals
recognize
they
that addressing
exist.
one problem is not.
Sorry. I
Sorry.
was just asking that these goals they already exist since 2015, right? And Google is just
Yeah.
they are trying to promote these goals by UN by kind of pushing it to a larger audience through their network using the GDSCs and the GDCs.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So sustainable development goals by UN is an entirely it's a very wide thing. Google is just promoting it and helping us get get there to
Okay.
till 2030. If we have these sustainable development goals that we need to reach, Google is just helping the entire humanity basically to get there, because we have a lot of students across the world in several GDSCs, and when we put our best minds together using the best technologies, we'll be able to get very far. So that is all your Google Solutions Challenge is about, related to your SDGs. So we also have 5 agendas here. Can we move on to the next slide?
Yeah.
Okay. So to help you guys understand the SDGs in a simpler way, we have 5 main problems that we'll be focusing on. These are the 5 agendas that the UN has provided. So one of them is people, the other is prosperity, planet, peace, and partnership. So these are the 5 main agendas that come under the SDGs. So we'll be working. You can pick one theme and start working on a project under it. So that is what your Google Solution Challenge, what you'll be doing under it.
Perfect. And even I've seen that people who do projects, they are not just focusing on one single theme. They make a single product or a project which kind of relates to multiple themes at a single time. Like I remember last year's finalists, there were two Indian teams. Like one was from GDSC Chitkara University from India, and the other one I don't remember which university it was from, but it was also from India. So two global entries in top 10 were from Indian colleges, Indian GDSCs. And one of those projects I remember, they made an app called Swasti or some health app, which kind of was covering for almost four themes in one. So it's not like you just have to pick only one theme. You can pick multiple themes. You just have to
Yeah.
think of an idea which solves most of the themes, or only you can focus on one theme, and then also you can start building something using any of the technologies. Okay, to basically give a solution. That's the whole point of solution challenge, to give a solution to these problems, these sustainable development goals that we have from UN.
Yes, exactly. So it's all about innovation and putting your creativity to it, coming up with solutions to all of these problems that already exist, right? We already are aware of
Exactly.
these problems. It's just a matter of how creative you can get, and how creative you can get with using all of the technology that is already available. So this is your Google Solutions Challenge, and that is what we've been talking about.
Exactly.
So now we can, yeah.
Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit on these themes and see what intrigues the audience that we have here. So we have okay, I don't think so I can zoom in while presenting. So I'm gonna read out the development goals that we have here. So we have no poverty, we have zero hunger, we have good health, quality
Yeah.
education, gender equality, we have clean water, we have affordable and clean energy, and then again decent work and economic growth, industry, and all of these goals. So you can go ahead and open Solution Challenges website. Okay, I'm going to drop a link to Solutions Challenge website. Just give me a second, so that you can easily visit, and also give me a second. Okay, I think I have the link here. I'll just quickly paste it in the chat. Yep, this is the link. Here you go. So this is the link. You can go ahead and see all the different types of sustainable goals that you have, and all the themes that you have, that you can basically choose from to make a project and then submit it in this solution challenge for 2022 that we have. Okay, so while you're going through it, we'll circle around back to it towards the end and see which particular sustainable development goal are you interested in, or you want to solve, or maybe not now, but maybe in future you want to solve that particular sustainable development goal. Okay, so we'll circle back to it. Let's move to the next part, which is the timeline of this challenge.
Yeah. So this is what you can see on your screen is the entire timeline. Basically, I'm going to explain. So registration started in January. You would have noticed that in across around late January we started. The
Yeah.
registrations were open, and all the promotions you would have seen already. So registrations are going on. February and March is basically the time that you get to innovate and pick a problem and start working on your goals. Start learning using Google technologies. In March, you'll have time between 15th and 31st of March to submit. your projects.
Yes.
So that is the timeline, and after that, the projects will be reviewed by Google and Google's software engineer team and all of that in the entire month of April. So after that, the top 50 projects are going to be chosen globally. This is globally, talking about
Yeah.
the all the number of counting all the GDSCs across the world. So there'll be top 50 teams that will be chosen, and they'll be announced on the website around the end of April. And those 50 teams will be receiving a mentorship from Google. That will be around your May. And after that, the Google Accelerator team, which works with startups, will assist the team in connecting with Google mentors and other experts. You'll be getting a lot of guidance basically after that if
Yeah.
you're in the top 50. And then the top 50 teams will resubmit their projects for Google's review. And after that, we will have the top 10 teams. The again, after your top 50, you'll be shortlisted to top 10. And under the top 10 teams, you'll I think that will be around announced around mid of June. And on their website and on Google's blog, all of that, you'll be able to see the top 10 teams. And all of the top 10 teams will be will present their projects on the demo day, which will be on July 28th, right? So 28th,
Exactly.
which is a panel of judges will evaluate you and select the top three projects, which will be announced live on YouTube. So basically, it goes from 50 top teams, and then to 10 top teams, and then the last three finalists. That those are the winners. So that is
Exactly.
how it goes.
And also, if the link that I shared in the chat box, if you go to that link, on that link you can see the whole timeline, you can see the goals, you can also see last year's process, how they did it. So last year they selected the
Yeah.
50 teams. In the same way, they'll be following the similar timeline that they followed last year for Solution Challenge, because it was completely online. This time also Solution Challenge is completely online. So they'll be following the same kind of timeline. And the best part is that the best and the most exciting part is demo day. And the
Yeah.
what's going to benefit you a lot, on that particular link which I shared in chat box, you can actually find the demo day videos which the previous top 10 participants they did for this, along with the judges panel on demo day. So you can actually find their submissions, their apps, this problem that they were solving, and whatever they have done in the previous years. And not just last year, you can actually check the whole archive of all the old projects that previous participants have done in the solutions challenge. Okay, so that is amazing, and
Yes.
you can go check that out, because this link which you have in the chat box right now, the link to Google developers community, where you have the solution challenge page, that is your one stop solution for almost every single thing that you need to know about, for this solutions challenge in 2022. So you will have all the resources, you'll have every single thing present in this one link. So anything that you need to know, it's going to be present on that, along with the resources which we'll be telling you about in a while. Okay, so now let's talk about the prizes.
Yes. So talking about the prices are pretty very exciting. So let's start with the top 50 teams. So when you get to the top 50 teams after your projects have been evaluated, they'll be shortlisted to the top 50 teams. So you'll have a customized mentorship from Googlers and other experts, and then you'll get branded T-shirts and goodies and certificates. A lot of things for the top 50 teams. Then you'll have the top 10 finalists, as we talked about. So you'll have additional mentorship apart from just customized mentorship. The 50 teams, the top 50 teams that you'll be getting the additional, the 10 finalists will be getting additional mentorship as well. They'll be getting a lot of swags, and whatever solutions that you've built, the idea that you've built on, the product that you've built on, you'll be able to show that on the demo day that is live in front of an entire audience. So the demo day is going to be a huge deal. It's going to be live on YouTube. A lot of people are going to be watching. There'll be a panel of judges, and you'll be presenting to them. So the top 10 teams are going to be presenting on the demo day. And then you'll have the finalists. So finalists will be receiving the top 10 finalists will be receiving a swag box and a cash prize of $1,000 per person. So this will be if you have four members in a team, all four members
Exactly.
will be receiving $1,000. And then we have the top three winners. Those are the finalists. Those are the final winners. They'll be receiving $3,000 individually. Every team member will be receiving $3,000, and it's going to be a very lively event. The finalists will also be receiving a People's Choice Awards, and there's a lot of fun goodies and a lot of swags that you'll be getting. So this entire opportunity is a very big deal. You'll have a lot of fun, experiencing this entire thing, working on projects, learning, and also rewards, which is crazy. So that is all the
Exactly.
prizes that we've got.
So this is the whole price structure for those who are going to participate. So again, as you can see through the prices, it's better to participate in a team of four. Don't exceed that team price, otherwise the cash price is going
Yeah.
to be unequally divided. But yeah,
Yes.
so again, top 50 teams, top 10 teams, and then top 10. Those are basically the finalists. Those will be getting the swag box and all of the other cash prizes from the Solution Challenge team, and also the top three winners. Apart from this, which is
Yes.
not mentioned here because those are some extra perks which you will get by the kind of exposure that your project is going to get. So suppose if you are able to solve a certain problem and you are halfway there, or let's say you only have a prototype but you are willing to work on that idea and you can work on that idea, so you'll get a lot of opportunities to actually fund that project and take it forward as your full-time career and make a startup out of it and then produce that product in the market
Yeah.
as well. Okay, let's see how many of you are watching Shark Tank on TV or maybe online. How many of you have heard of this show that's going on in India right now? It's a global show, but again, in India, it's for the first time that it has come here. Give me a second, I'll share the PPT again.
Okay, I think a lot of people are watching. That's great. With who are you?
Yeah. Okay, I think the PPT is back.
Yeah, it
Okay,
is.
great. Okay, you've heard of it. So
Yep.
yeah, again, just like in that, basically, again, it's all about investing in startups and all of that entrepreneurship spirit. So if you are willing to solve a particular problem and if you want support for that, so this particular challenge, if you complete it with that idea and with that solution, you might basically get an opportunity to make it large even more than what it is in solution challenge. So that's a plus point, that's a bonus that you
Yes.
get in by participating in solutions challenge, because it's not just the top 50 teams, it's also globally, because you're participating in this whole community space. The visibility of that project or that problem statement is going to increase tenfold, which is something that
Yeah.
people don't realize at start, but once you start get into it and you start discussing ideas and making teams and start working on a project, that's when you get to know that okay, this can be scalable, or you can take it to the next level and then you can make it something out of it. So solution challenge can be that starting point or that stepping stone for anyone who is trying to get make something or build something or work on a product or a project. This is where something where you can get all the resources and then start building it. Okay, so this is going to
Yep.
help you there as well. Now let's have a look
Yeah.
at how exactly you are going to be judged for the project. Okay, how exactly do you get selected for the top 50 top finalists, or how you get into the top 3 winners.
Yeah. So the 60% of your project will be judged on what impact, how is it impacting the global world? How is it impacting? How impactful is your project? And then 40% is whether or not you're using Google technology, how well is your tech, how good is your prototype, and all of that. So under impact, again, we have all of these things that are very important that you can see on the screen. So whether or not your problem that you've selected or the solution that you're providing is according to the norms of the UN, according to the problems or all the 5 Ps that you saw that UN is providing, and how effective is the solution? Does it actually work, or is it just an idea that's not scalable, an idea that is just something that's not doable right now? So is there evidence of a next step? So say suppose you are working on a project idea and you're currently it works, but do you have an idea to actually scale it in the future? Do you have ideas to further expand it? Do you have an idea to actually make it reach people? So all that is your impact. And under technology, we have whether or not the solution is whether or not implementing all the technical components, whether or not your prototype is ready, whether or not your the tech that you're using is properly used, and whether or not your team is clearly explaining what they've used and how they've used and how they're
Exactly.
thinking of proceeding further. So that is all about your judging criteria. So 60% will be your how impactful it is, and 40% will be how well you're using the technology. Because again, Google is going to be providing a lot of learning resources, a lot of resources for you to generally learn throughout the project. It's not that it's you jump into it right away and you're not being provided any resources. You just have to build everything on your own. There are a lot of core labs, a lot of resources that you can use to actually learn and then build in this span. So this is your judging criteria.
Exactly, and also one more important point is that because this solutions challenge is being conducted by Google, so you have to use any one of the Google technologies. So Google technologies, if I have to umbrella it into a simple category, so you have one technology in almost every field. So let's say for cloud computing or server management, you have Google Cloud. For Android app development, you have Flutter. For web development, you have Angular, although Angular no one uses, but anyways, you have it. Then for database management, you have Firebase, and you also have for AI ML purposes, you have TensorFlow. So you have one or the other technology present in every single category that you will need to create a tech product. So one, at least one, you have to use, and it's up to you if you want to incorporate more Google technologies. And it's not like you can, it's just because this competition is by Google, so they are promoting their products more. So one is mandatory. Other than that, you can use any technology that you like. So you can make a web app using React along with Firebase as backend, and also you can host it on Vercel or Heroku or any platform that you want. Or you can even use AWS or Google Cloud, whatever you think is okay or important for your project. You can incorporate all those technologies in your project. Okay, so that's something about the things that you need to keep in mind before you start on with your project, and the things you should incorporate into your projects. So the next thing is who should join and what are the benefits of participating. Okay.
Yeah. So let's talk about ideally who are the people who need to join, right? There's no criteria as such. It's not that if you don't have an idea right now, you can't join. It's just that you have to be willing to work on a project that is on a product that provides a solution to all of the problems that UN has stated, right? So that encompasses the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. So that is the main criteria, that you care about it and you want to get into it. You have an idea, you're willing to work on it, and people who want to meet new people and network with new people. You'll find a lot of new teams. You'll network with a lot of new people, and you'll get to learn a lot from everyone around the world, right? So this is a great opportunity for you if you're willing to, if you want to learn and network with people, and also get into that team spirit, actually work on a product, even if you fail, even if you don't get selected, actually learn in the process, and just not just be focused on the rewards, but also be equally invested in your project and your product. So that is your criteria of who should be joining. Now let's talk about the benefits of participating in the solutions challenge. So you become a member of the global community, as I already said. So you can get help from more than 80 Google developer experts, mentors, and all of them. And you'll be able to follow other students. You'll be able to network with the students. You'll be able to reach out to other students. So a lot of them might be facing the same problems that you are. A lot of them might be ahead of you. You can communicate with all of them. You can network with all of them. So in the future as well, even if you're after those solution challenge is completely over, you'll still continue to have a network with all of the people who participated. So that is just great. So then you have your a chance to share your work with Google and others all around the world. Of course, you will never know whether or not your product is good enough until you share it with other people, right? You might
Correct.
be building a product. You might be building an app in your basement. No one will ever know whether or not it's you'll never know whether or not it's good enough. You'll only know it when you share it with people, when you communicate with other people. So that is a great opportunity too. So you'll be able to assess your technical abilities. That is also a great thing. So again, it's the same thing. Unless and until you put your work out there, you're not going to get feedback. You're never going to learn. So you will get a big opportunity to actually share it with people, and there'll be mentors who are going to guide you. So there's nothing better than that. So whatever work you're doing, whatever technology that you're using, even if you're not the best at it, you'll be learning throughout the process. So you'll be able to assess your actual abilities. And then we have long-term projects that you can include in your resume or CV. Obviously, that is that when you'll be learning, you'll be building a project, you will obviously be able to include it in your resume and a CV, and that's a great plus. That's a great bonus. Then we have you learn about Google technologies. If you're not aware of any of the Google technologies, you'll get to learn now. So that is also amazing. And there's a vast collection of free learning pathways and courses available. So we'll come to that. That is Google Code Labs. So there are a lot of code labs available, free learning resources. So you can choose any of those code labs and register for them and learn through them as well. So apart from that, you'll also be getting free resources. So I've emphasized again and again that you'll be getting resources that you'll be able to learn. It's not just that you need to know things already to participate in this competition. It is you can participate if you have an idea, if you're willing to, and you can learn along the way too. All right, so that is it with your benefits. You can also you'll be able to complete all of these learning pathways that Google's providing as well. So these are the benefits of participating. Apart from that, it's just going to be a great experience for you guys. If say suppose you have an idea, you've had an idea for a long time, but you've not been able to work on it because of technical restrictions. Maybe you don't have the knowledge right now, but someone else does. So you can team up with them and you can split your work. So you'll be able to network and meet new people and actually collaborate with a lot of people. And that experience is going to be amazing. So just go ahead and register, just make a team, and even if you fail, you're going to learn so much throughout the process. So it's just an amazing opportunity, and don't miss out on it.
Exactly. And on that note, I'll just like to share another tab and show where exactly you can find all of these various resources. Okay. So I'm gonna share a different tab. Give me a second. I'll just open up the link and also drop it in the chat box. So okay. So just let me know if the screen is visible or not. Is it visible?
Yeah, it's visible.
Okay, great.
Yep.
So this is the website, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna drop the link to this as well in the chat box, so you can grab the link from there. So this is where you can get all of your various resources. Okay, so you can see everything about Solution Challenge. Okay, and you can find the challenge, the timeline, the UN 17 goals, whatever goals are there. So as we are talking about it, all the various goals. Okay, and also the various resources. You can get every single thing here. Okay, so this is what I want to show you, all of these various 17 goals, okay, that you have here. Okay, so you can check out the goals here, you can check out the resources. This is very important because this is something that you will this will help you a lot to basically get started with your project, whatever it is. So resources, you have all the intro videos, and you can understand every single thing. These are basically made by the Google team to explain you what it is. And then here you can see previous Solution Challenge videos. Okay, so you have the kickoff, you have the project idea and everything, you have the design sprint, all of those things. And then you have featured learning content. Okay, so if you want to learn any of these Google technologies, as I told you, you have Kotlin, you have Firebase, you have Flutter, you have TensorFlow, you have Assistant, you have Google Cloud, and all of those things. So you can open these links. These are separate links where you can learn about all everything that you need to know to make a proper product. Okay, so you'll get all the resource here itself. These are code labs. So these are self-paced training courses wherein you can basically pick up any pathway and then build while learning. Okay, so there'll be articles, there'll be videos, and along with that you'll also be asked to make something along with it. So this is like project based learning that you'll be getting through this. Okay, so this is all these are all the resources. Let me get back to the PPT, and I guess we are back. Okay,
Yep.
great. Give me a second. I think the orientation changed for the PPT. I'll share it again. Google Slides and share. Okay. So yep, those are all the various resources, as well as those are all the links that you need to know about. So the link is again in the chat box. You can check it out. Okay. So next, moving on to
Yes.
the next thing is going to be uh, self-paced code labs. We already discussed. So here's a screenshot of all the pathways that you get, and the link
Yeah.
is in the chat box. Okay, so we already discussed this. The next thing is going to be, before we move on to the
Yes.
FAQs, is there are certain things that you need to keep in mind. So Neha, would you tell us what are those general things that everyone should keep in mind before participating?
Yeah. Okay. So these are just a few things that in the Google campaign, they share. So things that you can keep in mind while you're working on the project. So first thing is research properly. Just go through everything that you can based on your idea. Just research everywhere properly. Brainstorm with your team. So if it's a team of 4 people, 2 people, 3 people, properly brainstorm with each other. Share your ideas, and also another important, very important thing is state your problem statement. Write down your problem statement. So you need to be clear of what you're working on, exactly what it is that you're working on. So it's kind of like making a case study. You're making a case study about your problem. You're building on a project. You're building an entire case study on your project as well. So write down your problem statement. So problem statement is just whatever problem that you're picking up. So like the UN has stated all of these agendas, right, that we need to cover on till to 2030. So just pick up a problem, that a real world existing, already existing problem, and try to provide a solution to it. And you need to justify how you're providing a solution to it, whether or not it's scalable, how it's scalable, and all of that. You need to be able to justify and explain each and every step that you take while building your project. All right. So you can also categorize your work based on your problems and the problem that that you have selected. And apart from all of this, you have to make sure that you're breaking out of your comfort zone. You can't just be like, okay, I know this one Google technology and I'm just going to stick to it and not dive into any other stuff. Even when you know, if you dive into the other Google technologies, it might boost your project. It might be better for you. So just get out of your comfort zone, try to learn and explore and get your hands on all of those resources that Google's providing, and make the best use of it. And apart from that, make a plan, make a timeline. So usually what happens is when you're working in a team and it's just your friends, and you might end up getting deviated. You might end up just talking and having fun instead of working on the project, which is great. But getting deviated and not working on the project is again, you're not focused on the project, right? So make sure you make a timeline. This week we need to finish all of this. Next week we need to finish all of this. So you'll have a specific time period for every single thing. So if you need to finish planning by the end of this week,
Exactly.
you'll finish planning by the end of this week. It won't be like, okay, we need to postpone it again, and then it's getting postponed again and again. So to make sure that everything's working smoothly, just make sure you make a timeline. You make a plan that how you're supposed to proceed till
Plus,
the
you
15th
also
of March
have
can
a
be.
very tight timeline to follow. Like towards the end of March,
Yeah.
the submissions are going to open. That means you get the whole month of February, and also the almost the month of March. So you have almost 2 months to build your project, build on your idea, till a certain stage where you can make it presentable, so that it gets accepted as one of the top 50 solutions. And then again, you'll have
Yes.
like 2 months of almost 2 months of mentorship phase, where the mentors from Google as well as from the development team,
Yes.
they are going to help you out to scale that in a way that you can prepare for the final demo day. And for demo day, you'll again need a video as well, wherein you properly introduce your project and whatever you're making, and what basically, again, what Neha told, the problem statement, the solution that you're providing. So all of those things you need to properly plan them out. So if you're participating in solutions challenge, and you should, if you have an idea, if you want to solve something for a problem, you should definitely participate. So select your team wisely. You can divide the work as Nia said, and also follow a strict timeline, so that you will be able to finish all of these checkpoints that we have in the timeline on time. Okay. So overall, basically, just get out there and do something, and get out of comfort zone, again, same thing. And just be patient and also have fun. Okay, that's also a part of it, because again, making things, building projects with friends is something that is just amazing. And if you get to do that for something like solution challenge or some of the sustainable development goals, that is the perfect thing that can happen. Okay, so that's all
Yes.
from us for this, and now the floor is open for you guys for any questions. So if you have any question, go ahead, type it down in the chat box, and we will be here to answer your questions. Okay, till then you can read some of the basic FAQs that we have here on the slide. Okay, so can my solution for solution solve a problem outside of the scope of 17 sustainable development goals? Okay, so for solution challenge 2022 we require submit a solution to solve at least one. That means it should solve at least one of the 17 SDGs. Okay, that's one question. The next one is, can one student or team submit multiple submissions? Okay, so again, one project per person. Okay, that's the criteria. Can I participate in solution challenge if there is no developer student club at my university? So this is something that a lot of students ask. So the answer is yes. So if one of the students, they exactly, I have that question again in the chat box right now. Harshini is asking, can we team up with members outside the university too? Yes, you can. Okay, so while filling the form for solution challenge, you will be asked to select your university where your GDSC is. So you'll be selecting Presidency University, and if the other person is from a college where if they have a GDSC, they'll enter their GDSC, and then you guys can team up. So basically, you register for yourself in the challenge through the website. The link is in the chat box, and then you form a team. Okay, so if someone is from a college where they don't have a GDSC, you can tell them that they can enter your GDSC. That means Presidency University. Okay, so at least one team member should be from a GDSC college. Others can then fill the same university. Okay, so I hope that cleared your doubt. Harshini, right? Harshini. Okay, how to make my team? Okay, again, just go to the link. You will register in the challenge for yourself, and then later on that particular platform only, you can then talk to your friends, and together you can form a team, or else they'll give you a portal there. Maybe they have a find me a team portal. Okay, so you can maybe join someone's team, or you can create your own team and let others join. So that's up to you how you want to create a team. But first you need to go to the link which we have in the chat box. Okay, I'm going to paste the main link again. Okay, this is the main link. You can go and you can register. Okay, this is the link. Neha, would you like to take the question that we have?
Can a team have more than 4 people? So it is allowed, but your the price distribution will be unequal then. So say suppose you get to your um, you get to the top 10. So the price distribution will be $1,000 per person until it's 4 people. Otherwise, the price distribution will be unequal. You'll get lesser amount.
I mean,
So
that's up to
how it
you.
works.
That's just something that you should know.
Yeah,
It should not be like that after
up to you.
reaching that particular point that
I
you were like
yeah
not
yeah.
informed. Yeah. So you should know. But yeah, you can have more than 4. Okay, who has that question? Prarthana, right? Okay, great. Others, any question if you have about the solution challenge? And if you have any questions regarding GDSC, again, like in the starting, we had Anirudh talk about membership at GDSC and how to be a part of the club. We can also answer those questions towards the end, but let's first focus on questions related to solutions challenge. So if you have a question regarding GDSC or the club or how to get into this club, just wait till the end. And others, if you have any doubts regarding solution challenge, drop your questions in the chat box and we'll be answering all of those. Others, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, addressing the question that Prathna asked, I think the maximum limit is 4 members. I just checked.
Okay.
I think it's safe to have 4 members in your team. I don't think 4 plus is allowed. So ideal number of members in your team will be 4.
Got it. Others, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, the link is in the chat box. Go ahead and register for the solution challenge. and yeah, make some crazy projects, make some crazy products, and that basically help us to achieve those 17 SDGs that we have. Okay, and thank you so much
Yes.
others for joining in today, and it was amazing with you guys. The whole event went great, and thank you so much for joining in, and we'll see you guys again in the next event. There are a lot of events coming up. I have an announcement to make, which is that we are going to start Flutter festivals, which is again going to be a campaign just like we had earlier for Google Cloud. So a lot of you participated in Google Cloud campaign, in which for 30 days you received proper training from Google Cloud, and you also have the certification and the badges for an entry level cloud architect, right? So a lot of people received swags also from Google for completing that 30-day cloud challenge. In the same way, the Flutter festivals are going to be a Flutter campaign to basically learn and also earn various kind of swags, as well as various kinds of rewards and certifications by the Google team directly. And this is going to be for Flutter. So we are currently looking for a facilitator. So again, every university they have to choose one facilitator. So it can either be the GDSC lead, which is me for this year, or else it can be someone else. So if anyone else wants to be the facilitator for this particular campaign, so it is not required that you know Flutter, but it is preferable if you know a little bit about Flutter and you know how to get around it. Otherwise, you will be getting the proper training sessions from the Flutter team itself, from the global Flutter team or the Indian Flutter team. Anyone can teach you before the program starts, and then your job is basically going to be to conduct successful sessions in our university, in our club, to basically spread awareness about the program that we have. So that's the job of a facilitator, and you have separate rewards for that and a lot of other things. If you are a part of Discord, you will be able to find that message there. So check out that message and fill out that form for being a facilitator for Flutter. Okay. Let me check if I can drop the link for you guys here. Give me a second. Yes, I have the link. So here's the link. This is the link if you want to be a Flutter facilitator from our campus. So go ahead and fill that form. Anyone can be. Okay, first year students also. If you are great at Flutter, if you don't know Flutter but you are still an app developer, or else if you don't know any of these techs and you want to learn, but and you're a good leader, a good manager, and you can speak, you can conduct sessions and all, anyone can apply. Basically, it's open for anyone in the whole university, just from our university. So if there's anyone from other universities, you guys won't be able to do it because of certain rules and all. But yeah, for our university, it's open for everyone. Okay, so that's something about Flutter. Other than that, if you have any doubts regarding solution challenge, go ahead and drop them in the chat box. If not, you can leave the session. Thank you so much. The session is over, and we'll be addressing all the questions regarding the club now. If anyone has solution challenge, you can still ask in the chat box. So we'll wait for a while, and then we'll move forward to the club related questions. Thank you so much everyone for joining in.